Hi, Tracy. Morning, everyone. You okay?
Morning.
Good morning, everybody. Hi, sorry we're a bit late this morning.
Good morning.
We had agreed that we were going to have some of our lovely international nurses join us, and they can't access the webinar, so terribly sorry that we're late, but it's lovely to see you. So for those of you who might be new, my name's Laura. I'm the pastoral and the project support lead for the Devon International Project. I've got Victoria with me today. Do you want to say hello?
I'd love to say hello. Yes, good morning. So I'm Victoria Stone, and I am one of the recruitment partners, so one of the hands-on recruiters involved in bringing our lovely overseas nurses into work for the NHS in our Devon hospitals.
Thanks,
Lovely
Victoria.
to meet you today.
Thank you. It's lovely. It's nice, isn't it? We've also got
great.
Jack with us, who works with Victoria and is also one of our other recruitment partners, and we've got Tracy, who is the lead nurse for the project. So it's lovely to see you all today. As I said, sorry we're late. We were hoping that some of our lovely international nurses would join us to celebrate Overseas NHS Workers Day, which is tomorrow. But no, they couldn't join us. The link wouldn't work. So no, they couldn't. We're devastated that they couldn't join us, because there was six of our lovely nurses from lots of different countries, and it would have been lovely to see them, but hey ho, can't be helped, can it? Technology.
That's right, the joys of
technology. As I said, tomorrow is Overseas Workers Day for the NHS, so that's a really big thing in the NHS, and we celebrate our amazing overseas workers that build up our hospitals, and we just wanted to celebrate it really, and just to sort of have some of our nurses and their nationalities here, just to talk about their experience. And I know that they really love Devon, don't they? And some of the things that they've said. So keep an eye on our social media page tomorrow, on our Facebook and our LinkedIn, and I'm going to be posting some interviews that we've done with some of these nurses, and just to see what they like and what their ward family is like, and pictures of them in their uniforms, and it'll be really lovely for you to read it and to hear about the nurses. So that's lovely.
That's right.
But Victoria and I were going to talk to you about the different locations that we offer our hospitals, and also I was going to talk to you a little bit about our pastoral care. So pastoral care is how we look after you when you've been awarded your cohort, and then we will be there for you for any questions that you may have, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that later, just the sort of support that we offer for you that just makes us a little bit different. So I've just got some slides, if you don't mind if I share, Victoria, just about the hospitals.
Lovely.
There we go. Can you see that one?
Got it.
There we go. That should be on the screen now as well. So yeah, we were just going to talk a little bit about some of our hospitals, weren't we?
We were, that's right. So just to give you a bit of an overview of where we are in the UK. So we represent the county, so a bit like a state, excuse me, of Devon, which is in the southwest of the UK. So arguably we're in a slightly warmer part of the UK than other locations, but it is a very our area is well known for its outstanding beauty, for its mix of coastline, beautiful beaches. We also have the rugged moors. We have city locations. So we have a bit of everything, really. And I think it's also helpful and important to highlight that we are a favoured, I suppose, holiday destination for many UK residents. So we are a kind of an aspirational location almost. People, many people that you talk to, I mean, I moved back down from London about sort of 5 years ago now, having grown up here, but I've sort of moved back down because many people say that when, you know, they would love to have the opportunity to live and work in Devon, not just because it's so beautiful, but also in terms of quality of life. The schools are good. It's a great place to raise a family. And of course, there's a lot to do, whether you like cities or whether you like, countryside. That's great because you have everything. You have the good mix. So it really is. I can attest. I can promise you that that it's a really desired place to live for many UK citizens. And so obviously for anyone coming from overseas, I would say absolutely go for it. It's a super place to be. So yeah, it's my little passion talk there.
No, it's lovely.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? And
Yeah.
so Torbay Hospital is, so we have, sorry, I'll start again. We have 5 main hospitals that we recruit for as a team across Devon. So we have Torbay, which is a coastal location. We have North Devon, which is sort of more countryside and a rural location, close to beautiful beaches, lovely walks, outdoor lifestyle, that kind of thing. Then we have 2 city hospitals, which is the University Hospitals Plymouth and the Royal Devon and Exeter Hospital. Our cities within Devon are most certainly cities, but they are not huge scale cities on perhaps the scale of, I don't know, London or Birmingham or other huge, very built up cities. So you can live in a city location and it's kind of manageable, if that makes sense. Yeah, which is really lovely. And then we also have DPT, Devon Partnership Trust, which is our mental health hospital arm. Now, DPT is actually sort of physically located within each of the other hospital sites. So there is a DPT or mental health presence at each of the other hospitals, as well as they have their own hubs. Exeter, I can think of one, and one in an area that's sort of closer to Torbay, Dawlish. So yeah, that's just a sort of overview. So yes, Laura, if we was on to just Torbay, which I think the next slide down, just to give you a lovely show of the outside of the hospital. There we go. Hello, can you hear me? Everyone's frozen.
I can still hear you.
Oh, okay.
Victoria.
I suddenly was worried that the internet had frozen because I'm working from home. Oh, okay. That thank you, Jack. Panic averted. Yeah. So Torbay Hospital. So my colleague Jack, who's on this webinar, does the hands-on recruitment currently for Torbay. That's one of sort of his patch. Although we all work together, we are a small team, although expanding at the moment. And we, day in day out, we get up in the morning and look forward to working with our overseas nurses for that day. Working hard to bring them over to the UK. Torbay Hospital is a coastal location. It has a sort of a patient population, if you like, that can ebb and flow or go up and down in terms of numbers, because it's a key holiday area for Devon and for the UK. So excellent hospital. We have very good links with Torbay, with all of our hospitals. But yeah, Torbay is a lovely place to live. It's a town rather than a city. Hello, Laura. I thought I'd frozen there, but I think that's quite all right.
Yeah.
I thought I was lost in space for a moment. But I was just talking about Torbay Hospital, coastal location.
It's beautiful.
Beautiful, excellent reputation in terms of a hospital. We work very closely with Torbay, don't we?
Yes.
And it's one of Jack's sort of hands-on delivery hospitals, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Yes. Anything else I should add about Torbay? Holiday area, beaches?
Yeah, there's a lot of community sites, isn't there, for Torbay Hospital? So it's not just an acute site. There is a lot of community-based sites as well within the hospital, and it's very innovative hospital, isn't it? Lots of training that they carry out, lots of state-of-the-art surgeries. Really good all-round lovely hospital, just like all the hospitals in Devon. They're all very innovative.
They are.
Especially Exeter have got their new IT system, haven't they? Which
Yes,
is
they have.
the My Care, and that's all online and very innovative for the NHS. So
Absolutely.
yes,
We're very proud of our Devon hospitals, aren't we? I would
yeah,
say.
of
Yeah,
course,
of course. But
yeah.
yes, yeah, indeed. So that's Torbay.
Oh yes, actually, I don't know if you've mentioned, but a lot of the hospitals actually in Torbay, Plymouth, Torbay, in Devon,
Yep.
Plymouth and Torbay and North Devon have all received funding, haven't they, for hospital improvement programmes from the
That's
government.
right. They have indeed.
So they've had a massive cash injection, so they're improving a lot of their services. I know personally for Torbay, they're working on their emergency department,
Yeah.
and they've just done a massive improvement to their intensive care unit. I know that Exeter have had the money that they've put into their IT infrastructure, which was the
That's
My
right.
Care programme, which is amazingly innovative for the
It
NHS,
is.
especially in Devon. It just means that instead of going to one hospital and then your documents not being available in the other, they'll be available everywhere, and doctors
That's
can
right.
access documents remotely. So it is really really special, isn't it?
That's right. It helps with efficiencies and just everybody being able to get on with the job rather than worry about forms and IT, which is always
Definitely,
we
always
all
a good
feel that
thing.
one, don't we?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So who have we got
so
next? We have got the RD&E
the
Hospital.
lovely RD&E. Yes. So RD&E, that's the Royal Devon and Exeter Hospital Foundation Trust. That is located in Exeter, which is a city. It has a beautiful cathedral that I believe dates back to the 11th century. I did look it up, so I hope I've got that right. It's a really nice city, great schools, wonderful place to live. I was actually at secondary school in Exeter many moons ago,
Aww.
obviously, but yeah, so I know Exeter, well. Exeter is also one of the hospitals that I do the sort of hands-on recruitment for, so I have really good links into the Royal Devon and Exeter Hospital, and I very much enjoy working with them. As Laura said, there's significant investment from the UK government across the NHS, and I know that Exeter, for example, has a project whereby it's going to set up hubs for surgical procedures, etc. So I know that theatre nurses and those with surgical experience are certainly going to be in demand, but obviously we are recruiting for nurses across the board with a variety of skill sets, but I just thought I'd highlight that particular area. Just to while I think of it, we are also just at the sort of early stages of looking at the recruitment of overseas midwives to our NHS hospitals, which is fantastic. It's something that we are just now able to sort of focus on.
So exciting.
Oh, it's so exciting. So we can't wait.
Just off the back of that, are there any
Yes.
is there anything special that the midwives have to do? Do they have to do a separate CBT?
Well done, you absolutely spot on.
I couldn't remember.
Oh, no, you're definitely awake. You get the brownie points there, Laura. Yes. So any midwives who have a minimum of 6 months post qualification experience who are looking to come to the UK will have had to have done their specific midwifery CBT as opposed to the adult path CBT. That is also the same, I'll mention this now, with any nurses who wish to work in paediatrics.
Yes, of course.
So yeah, so
There's
that's
a special
the other
children's
option.
CBT, isn't there? Special
There
children's
is.
CBT.
That's
And
right.
there's also a separate CBT for mental health nurses, isn't
Correct.
there?
That's
So
right.
if you
Yeah.
are a mental health nurse, go down the line of your mental health CBT as well. So that will mean that you get placed as a mental health
Right.
nurse.
That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah. And
We're
we
really
have
sorry, you go.
haven't sorry, no, I was just going to say we have had nurses who have been paediatric nurses that have taken the adult CBT
Yeah.
and come over as adult nurses, and they have said that it is so different and it is very stressful. So if you are a paediatric nurse, definitely, you are still needed. We do still need
Yes. Oh, yes.
paediatric nurses. You are in demand. So
Yeah.
be true to your profession and do that as your CBT.
Yes.
It'll be better for you in the long run.
Absolutely right. We're very much we're very keen to to aim to match your skills and experience that you've acquired, and any preferences, any specialities that you may have, with roles that are available across our hospital, So yeah, I'll just echo what Laura said there. Do highlight any specialist skills and experience that you have to us, and be prepared to perhaps mention it at your interview. If you have a particular area that you would like to work in, then do mention this to us. We will try our very best to match you to the most appropriate role within our hospitals. And the good news is, we are able to do that, and that's what we do every day. So that's something we would be very keen to support you with. We are all about you being able to have a successful transition to the NHS, get through your OSCE, and then be working in a ward and in a role where it's best suited to you. We really want you to be set up for success, as it were, don't we, Laura?
Yeah, we've just had a message from lovely Gloria, and I've replied, but I think it's worth noting. Like to know if the nurses could work and study at the university simultaneously. So that's a really good question. And the NHS is all for supporting, your development and your development in your nursing career. So we would say, when you secure your role, come over and you'll do your OSCE exam. So focus on getting your PIN, settling in for a little bit, and then of course speak to your ward manager and speak to the managers and see what else is available to you. But there's so many opportunities and so many options to further your education that, of course, and I furthered my education working in the NHS, and they really have the opportunities for you to develop yourself and develop your career as well.
That's a really good point, actually, and good question. Yes, I can think of our colleague who's actually on annual leave at the moment. So Carly Boyce, some of you may have met her on previous webinars.
Yeah.
I know that she is currently doing her master's, having been supported by the NHS to do it in leadership, I believe. And I can think of, there's many examples, but one that pops into my head is that I liaise quite often with a lovely nurse called Olympia, who's originally from Greece, but is working at
name.
I know she's great.
Beautiful.
Actually, she's really great. She's very keen on supporting the overseas nurse recruitment, because she's done it herself. She's been in the NHS, I think she said 5 years or so now. Absolutely loves it, is a real advocate for what we do, and she also is doing her master's. It's relevant to her work as a nurse, obviously, and she's been supported to do this by the NHS. And she says, she said to me, she wouldn't have had that kind of opportunity had she not come to the NHS, come to the UK, etc. So how wonderful to have a live example like that, and there are many others, but those are just a couple of examples that we are aware of. Isn't that right, Laura?
So lovely.
So nice.
Yeah, it is lovely.
Really is.
Yeah.
There's so much opportunity for progression for those who are, keen, dedicated, and are keen to invest in their own development. The opportunities are definitely there. It's very exciting for us to hear these stories, and for us to see people embracing it is as well. So fantastic. Yeah. What's next? What have we got next?
Is that everything for Exeter?
I think so. I mentioned the surgical hubs, didn't I?
Yeah. They have community hospitals just like Torbay as well, so they are based in the community as well, which is lovely, isn't it?
It is. Yes, that's absolutely right. Thank you for that.
No, it's okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So next we've got North Devon Hospital.
Yes, North Devon Hospital. There we are. So North Devon is, I sort of mentioned previously, but it's sort of based in a rural location, so sort of within more of a countryside setting. Having said that, there are large towns, Bideford, Barnstaple, within North Devon. And Devon, although it's for us, it's a relatively large county compared to some of the countries where we may be talking to you. Devon's not that physically big. So what I'm trying to say is, you can be, say you're working in North Devon and you've got friends or wish to just go and visit Exeter or Torbay or Plymouth, you know, you can jump on a train, and we're talking, so I think North Devon to Exeter, it's not much more than about half an hour. So let's say 45 minutes maximum to get from one location to the next. Torbay would be another 20 minutes by train from Exeter if you had to change trains. So none of this, we're not saying you know, that you a 4-hour train ride from North Devon to get to Exeter or vice versa. So our locations, although they do have different flavours, obviously they are different, we're actually quite close together in relative terms. I know that's something that's come up a few times, that people don't necessarily realise the scale of where we are. So all of our locations are accessible to every other location,
Yes.
in a nutshell. Yeah, so North Devon is a really nice, friendly, but state-of-the-art hospital setting, based within a sort of countryside rural area. The beaches in North Devon, I've never seen anything like it. So I think it has, oh my goodness. I drove up to North Devon a few months ago to do a tour just in my own time, as many people do. Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, lovely.
I really wanted to really sort of get to know it better, and I was absolutely floored by the stunning beaches. I don't know if they get awards for the best beaches in the UK, but they've got to be right
They
up
surely do. They
Surely.
must do.
I should have looked that up, really, shouldn't I?
Oh,
But people go. I mean, I know hospital colleagues from North Devon who do their shift and then go surfing in the evening or after work or before work even. You know, that very much is an outdoor lifestyle is possible and
definitely.
available within North Devon, and a nice community of overseas nurses in the North Devon area, as there are within all of our hospitals. But I know that we've been actively recruiting into North Devon. I can think of many people who are now landed and getting settled and enjoying their time at our North Devon hospital. They have close links to the Royal Devon and Exeter Hospital, and in fact, they are becoming merged in many ways, but of course they are two separate physical locations, but really good, state-of-the-art, small, friendly hospital where nurses can make a difference, if that makes sense. Sometimes in a really big place, you know, you're doing a great job, and you're part of a team, and that's wonderful. But somewhere like North Devon, you can really, I think, have an impact, just because it's the scales are smaller than you might find in one of our bigger hospitals. I don't know if that's a fair comment, Laura. Would you?
I think I think so. I mean, Carly's a North Devon nurse, isn't she? And she absolutely loves it. So
very
I
friendly.
think
All the people are so friendly there, you know.
And it is very state of the art as well, isn't it? Because you would think with a small hospital, you wouldn't necessarily get you know, the state of the art.
That's right. Yeah,
sorry,
I know what you mean.
I just a question just caught my eye. You would have thought that with the smaller hospitals, you wouldn't get, you know, the innovative treatments or the like the rest of the hospitals that are maybe a little bit bigger, but you do. And I think that's the beauty of, you know, North Devon partnershiping with Exeter as well, is they get that, you know, get the consultants and the lead nurses that are drawn to the bigger hospitals, and they also do, like, you know, shared clinics and things over at the North Devon. So, you know, although they might not necessarily do like neurology procedures, but they do at Exeter, the neurologist will go up to or whatever the specialty is, will go to North Devon, do their clinics, bring that to the community. And then say do their surgeries in Exeter, but then still come and see, you know, the patients of the North Devon area. So I think that's a really beautiful thing.
I agree with you entirely. Yes, there's a lot of liaison of that type, and it really works. Also, as with all of our main hospitals, but North Devon in particular has a community hospital. I'm thinking of South Molton, and we're just at the early stages of looking at a project to recruit nurses, perhaps a group of nurses, actually, you know, it's possible, who may know each other. That's one idea. We're just trying to really understand what the needs are in terms of skills and experience of the nurses that we might look to recruit to the community hospital, or which is called South Molton in the North Devon area. So watch this space on that. As we understand more, we'll be reaching out and looking to recruit for South Molton. But yes, so South Molton, I know, is a community hospital setting, but nurses would have to, as I understand it, have some acute experience as well, because it has a bit of both. So yeah, another new project, which could be really nice.
Yeah, I don't want to say too much because it is early stages, but we've been working really hard behind the scenes, and we've got some exciting things coming for our community hospitals in the pipeline. And Exeter and North Devon are really keen to work with us for their community specialties, and there might be something in the pipelines. Hopefully, we're working with a driving school, so hopefully, maybe there might be a package in there that will include some driving as well. So we'll see. Watch this space, and we'll update you as we go. But yeah, that's going to be really exciting. We've been working really hard on that. So yeah, fingers crossed.
Yeah, fingers crossed. That's right. Yeah.
Just had a quick question about uniform and the clothes to bring. So uniform wise, you'll be supplied with your uniform. Shoes, it depends on where you're going. I know that in the surgeries they prefer more Crocs clog kind of shoes. I mean, I'm not a nurse, so don't quote me, but it's normally just black shoes. As a nurse, I would assume that you would need to be able to keep them clean, wipe clean, sort of black soled shoes, black shoes. So that would be the shoes, and then your normal kind of clothes, whatever you would wear normally, and we are still in winter, but we're creeping into spring, so the weather's getting a little bit milder. But as part of the pastoral package that we offer, when you get your date and when you get your cohort, I will send you a pack, and it sort of says, you know, the weather, the time of the year, what you need to bring, what sort of clothes. So it's a little bit colder, probably, no matter what the time of the year is to what you're used to. So always try and bring, you know, warm clothes, some socks. I do like a fluffy sock. But when you go, who doesn't? But when you go to your area and you get shown around, you'll see Primark, which is the best. So if you've forgotten anything, you can always pop into Primark and get jumpers, you know, coats. But I mean, you know, we're hopefully going away from the coat weather, but I would assume that wherever you're from, it'll still be cold, no matter how mild we say it is. You'll probably still be cold, won't you?
That's right. I would say so. Yeah, but it's a good question, though, isn't it? It's those kind of practical questions that I would want to know for sure. And I know that you provide great advice on all of that. You know, and have had feedback ongoingly. We always take the feedback on board and use that to inform then our offer, if you like, and our advice, I should say, don't we?
Yes. So there's another question that just, thank you so much, Victoria. There's another question that says, do we provide training for the OSCE exam? Yes, definitely.
Yes.
So whatever hospital you go to, you'll be provided training for your OSCE exam. And we also say, you know, your cohort, you will sit your OSCEs together. We say come as a group, and that's your family. Those will be your study buddies. You know, after work, you'll get together on the weekends. You'll get together and you'll study together. So it's really, you know, you're really supported. But it is up to you as well to go out there and to revise. But you will get training from the hospitals and support with your OSCE training. So yes, you will get training for your OSCE exam. Yes.
Yeah. Lots of support. Yeah.
Should we move on to the next hospital?
I think so. Yes, I think so.
University Hospitals Plymouth.
Excellent. So yes, University Hospitals Plymouth. So Plymouth is the other city location that we have. It's a really historic naval city dating right back in, you know, several hundred years. There's a big event where the Spanish ships tried to come over and invade England, and they were pushed back by this chap called Sir Francis Drake. So all of that was going on back in, I think, 400 years ago or so, you know, because of Plymouth being on the coast essentially, but very much a naval, so big ships, ability to have big ships because the harbour there, etc. So it's got a really proud, I suppose, naval tradition. It is a big city, but not too big again. So it's not on the scale of, as I said previously, London or anything like that. It's a manageable size, but it is a big city, great shopping, good nightlife. The culture there is good. I know they've had lots of investment into sort of the cultural development. Obviously, everything went a bit on hold due to COVID, but then what didn't? So I know that's all opening back up again now, unfortunately, you know. But yeah, good shopping.
Very good shopping.
Absolutely. I mean, it's the go-to place, isn't it, really, if you want a variety of shops.
Plymouth and Exeter, you can go to either one, can't you?
You really can. It's available in either location. Yeah, I would agree. I did see not that long ago, it would have been a couple of months ago, that Plymouth has won an award again within the UK as somewhere that young people, it's one of the top locations within the UK that young people would like to live in because of all the different elements. So that would be cost of living, that would be availability of good accommodation, that would be nightlife, that would be shopping, that would be all those elements. And it was right up there as one of the favoured places within the UK. So I thought that was interesting, actually, and really good. The hospital itself is a big, absolutely cutting edge, state of the art teaching hospital. We have really good links into Plymouth. They're a very sort of they're very organised, very structured, very on it, aren't they, with our dealings with us. Jack is my colleague who does the hands-on management for Plymouth, as well as everybody else. You know, we all cover each other's work. So, but yeah, really strong links into Plymouth. There is significant investment into Plymouth Hospital Trust. When we say trust, by the way, that does mean sort of hospital. It's something the trust this, the trust that, mean the hospital, don't we? So if you hear that, that's kind of what it means. Has had significant investment into, again, technology. The surgery side of things has been invested in as well.
Heavily invested in.
Heavily, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah. And I know that we've recruited theatre nurses specifically for University Hospitals Plymouth, and my expectation is that again that we would be looking to do that again in the coming weeks and months. So yes, do call out those specialities to us, and we will do our best to match those with roles that are available, and we know they are. So it's really exciting.
So exciting. We've just got a quick question here to say, do the candidates get to choose a location that they prefer, or are they assigned to hospitals based on experience? So it is a bit of both. So in your interview, you'll be asked if you have a preference of the location. So you can say, I prefer, you know, coastal or country, or, you know, my friend works at Exeter, so I would like to go to there. So it is up to you. We try as much as possible to adhere to those, but sometimes we could say to you, we know that you've said that you want to go to Exeter, but there is a space coming up in North Devon next month. You know, would you be happy to do that? So if there are any changes, we'll always ask you first, and it's your decision.
That's right. Absolutely. So, yeah, we very much want to understand your preferences, make a note of those. And then we do try to, just as you've said, we try to match your preferences with the roles that are available. Obviously, sometimes roles pop up that may be in a slightly different location. However, it's worth bearing in mind the point I made earlier that our locations aren't that far apart in actual fact. So if you've got a friend in Plymouth and we have a role available in Exeter for you, half an hour's train journey, and you can be chatting to your friend over a cup of coffee anytime. So it's worth bearing that in mind. But yeah, we do try to very much to take on board location preferences, and then also obviously your specialities as well. So there's a lot to pull together there. But we work closely with you and with the hospitals also, and we make it work, don't we, Laura?
We do indeed. Yes.
Splendid.
Yeah. Is that everything for Plymouth? I think so. I know that we they are looking for theatre nurses still.
Yes. Okay.
So if you are a theatre nurse and you are interested in moving to Devon, then Plymouth are definitely looking for theatre nurses. So yeah.
Great. That's lovely. Thank you. So I'm just thinking, have we got DPT? There we go. Yes, so that's
DPT.
DPT, Devon Partnership Trust. That word again. So yes, Devon Partnership Trust is our mental health arm. Jack is the hands-on recruiter for DPT. We are actively recruiting for experienced mental health nurses. We do understand that it is a specialist field, certainly within the UK, within the NHS, it is a specialist field. Laura has already mentioned the important point about nurses who have mental health experience who wish to remain in that area. Please do the mental health nurse CBT. That's really important. And yes, there is a lot of investment in the field of mental health within the UK. It is a focus area for the NHS. Our mental health needs, if you like, have expanded significantly, particularly since the COVID pandemic. And there is a big, I suppose, focus and awareness and appreciation of mental health nurses and mental health nursing, and we would just love to support and hear from you if you are a mental health nurse looking to work in Devon, and you would be working for the Devon Partnership Trust. So please do let us know, get in touch and apply. If you're not sure, go for it. That would be my advice.
Yeah.
Lovely people. I mean, it's great when when Jack's been away and I've had dealings with the DPT, the staff, the employees there are just,
So nice.
fantastic, so nice. I mean, I'm very fond of all of our hospitals, it has to be said, but yeah, really nice people, very relaxed in dealings with me, in terms of just welcoming, just I can't recommend it highly enough, really. Good
No,
experience
so
all round,
lovely.
Yeah, and that's
Definitely.
important. That's
So
important.
important. It's so
Yeah.
important that you feel at home and feel welcomed by the nurses. And actually that rolls on to quite a good question that I've got next.
Yeah.
So I've got a question from Mona Lisa, and she says she wants
Yes.
to know any intervention for cultural shocks and supporting the role and the management structure for overseas nurses. So of course there's going to be some degree of culture shock when you come and live in the UK, and that's to be expected. But Carly and myself, the pastoral team, we really try to be there for you. So as I said, we set up our WhatsApp groups for you, and you can get to know the nurses that are in your specialty. We do try and put some nurses of the same nationality in the same cohort, and if there isn't, we will try and let you know that you're going to be the only one from wherever you're from in that cohort. But there will be, at the hospital, there will be other nurses from, with the same nationality as yourself. So you get to know each other before you come into the UK. Carly and I are on hand for any questions that you have, supporting you. We do like a little getting to know you kind of webinar before you come to the UK. So you'll all kind of be there together on Teams. You'll all say hello to each other. We'll ask you questions. You can all kind of have a chat, and you can have a chat in the WhatsApp chat as well. And then we try to explain to you, the management structure. So when you come into the UK, you've got your group that you work in, that you live with, and when you go onto the ward, you'll have your ward manager or matron. And they are kind of like in charge of the overall structure, so they will look after you, as well as assigning you a buddy on your ward. So they will show you, what's what, introduce you to some policies and procedures that you may need to know. Sometimes they are fellow international nurses, or you can have any type of nurse really, but they're there to help you, to hold your hand, to really show you the ropes. So there is a lot of support on hand for you when you come over. And yes, I just
Absolutely
wanted to get that out there.
No, that's a really good point, and I think it might be worth mentioning as well. We have good links to some of the organisations, such as I'm to think of the Zimbabwean Nurses Association and the Nigerian Nurses Association. That there are established, well-established groups within the UK for different nationalities, for nurses that have made the move and the transition to the UK, for Filipino Nurses Association, there is a supportive broad network and group for all the different nationalities, and we have links to those, don't we? So we can help and support and put you in contact with such associations and organizations if that's something that you would like. It's available to you. We do, if you think about it, we're doing this all the time, so we are always learning. The hospitals are always learning. We want feedback from you when you come over, and when you've done your first few weeks, done your OSCE training, etc. We really want to hear your feedback as to how it goes, so that we can help improve everything for future nurses. But it's something that we do all the time, and we have great. If only we had our nurses on to talk today without technical issues, they could tell you.
Do you know, I think I'm going to do some separate recorded interviews with them, just so we can publish them online, just so we can see, what they've got to say, and we'll put them on our YouTube channel. And I'll put them on our Facebook page when they're published, and we can put them on YouTube, because I think it's really important to hear what our nurses have got to say about the process.
Absolutely.
But just going back to the diaspora groups quickly, we had a diaspora group come down on the weekend actually to see some of our nurses, and they posted about the Nigerian Nurses Charitable, Nigerian Nurses Charitable Association UK, that's a mouthful, NNCA UK came down, and they saw about 25 of their Nigerian nurses, which was so lovely to see them together. And they brought some goodie bags down, so I'm working on the Filipino Nurses Association coming down next. We've got some contacts, and if any of the nursing associations want to come down, we would welcome them with open arms. And actually, I think I'm going to try and twist some arms with our contacts. But when you're appointed, and when I send you the documents for your OSCE and for your what to pack checklist, I'll also put in there a list of the groups, so you can see for your nationality, or whichever group that you would like to join. I don't think they're based just on nationality. I know the Filipino Nurses Association is actually open to everybody, and they do incredible educational webinars, OSCE training. And I also like that they do training on interviews for when you want to move up in your role. So really good resources that are available to you, such good resources just to help you further educate yourself, really. So totally amazing. I love the diaspora groups. They're incredible, aren't they?
They are.
Quick question about 12-hour shifts. So not all nurses work 12-hour shifts, do they? Tracy, are you available to talk about the nursing shifts? Are you here?
I am here. Yes, I'm in the background, but I'm here.
What are the shifts
so
like?
I'm just reading all of the wonderful questions actually that everybody's posting, which is really good to have that engagement. But yes, so there are some different shift patterns that are. It depends on which area you work. The 12-hour shifts from memory now, I'm just trying to think what the times are, but they are 7:30 until 8 o'clock. So that's what the normal shift pattern is, and that's in obviously the morning, and obviously in the night shifts as well. You do have a break.
So they do 7:30 in the evening, then till 8 in the morning.
Some of it's not sort of universal sort of times across the trust. They are different. Some will start at 7:30, some will start at 8 o'clock. There will be a break obviously in that time as well, but other areas do early and late shifts as well, and again they do vary across the trust. Some will start at 7:30 or 8 o'clock until 2, 3 o'clock, and again sort of in the evening, in the late shifts, I think they're normally coming on duty around sort of 2 o'clock ish. So they're split. Obviously with a 12 and a half hour shift, you normally the recommendation is no more maximum than sort of 3 shifts in a row. Some trusts try and split those up because they are quite tiring. But then you get the time off afterwards, which is always very nice. You have the 4 days off, and you can be creative when you have holiday, and you can do your 3 days days together, sort of at the beginning of the week, have some days off, then you can have your annual leave, and sometimes you can have your days off of the week that you come back and work at the end of it, so you actually can get a nice little time off. So if you're going back home to your families, there are opportunities and options to do that. But of course, it does need to be agreed with managers. It is according to service need as well. So there is a lot of flexibility, you know, around the shift patterns.
Oh, thanks, Tracy.
Hope that's helpful.
Very helpful.
Yeah,
Thank
really
you
helpful.
so much. Yeah, great. So just another question about how long does it take upon arrival before your trust books your OSCE? So it really depends on the OSCE slots that are available. At the moment, we're still going through nurses that have got old and new CBTs. So the old CBT ended on the 1st of August last year. So I can't see at the moment that we've got a lot of nurses that are still on the old CBT, but there are still some that are coming through, which is fine. So they will obviously have to take the old OSCE, and then the nurses that have taken from the 1st of August last year will be on the new OSCE. So it depends on whether you're old or new OSCE as to whether you will be booked into your OSCE straight away. Sorry, I couldn't remember what it was then, even though I just said it. So it just depends on where you are, and also the slots that are available for the OSCE. So you pretty much, they try to get your OSCE training in straight away, or you might go to the ward, which is also okay, because you learn procedures and practices on the ward that you will need for your OSCE training. So it's all kind of lumped in together, and then you'll have your OSCE training, and then your exam, hopefully either straight away or within a couple of months of doing your training. So it's all kind of in together, which we hope. So yes.
Yeah.
So what is expected in the first 30 days of being employed as an overseas nurse? Okay, very good question.
Yeah.
Yes. So as soon as you arrive in country, unless you aren't fully vaccinated, which we do ask that our nurses are fully vaccinated now, as per the NHS mandates. If you aren't fully vaccinated, sometimes you will still have to isolate. We have had a couple of nurses that have still needed to isolate. But if you're not isolating, you will meet the rest of your cohort. You will meet who you'll be living with if you are in shared accommodation, or the nurses that are living around you.
Yeah.
Excuse me a second. Sorry, I had to cough then.
Had to cough, yeah.
I have to cough. And then you will be meeting your ward family. You'll be looking at the area that you're living in, giving a brief introduction. So perhaps going and registering a bank account, going and picking up your visas from the post office, seeing the local areas, the local shops that you'll be using. There will be a food package that will be supplied for you that will last you for a couple of days. And then you'll meet your ward family, your ward managers and your colleagues, if not going into OSCE training straight away. So it really depends again on whether you'll be going into the ward for a few weeks before OSCE training or going into your OSCE training straight away. Yeah, it's
absolutely.
Always a mix. Yeah, but it must be nice to meet your ward family straight away, so you know what you're working with, but also we understand, you know, OSCE is a very anxious time for you, and you want to be able to know what you're up against. So yes, and then you will literally just be revising for your OSCE, just getting yourself settled into nursing life, because as we've said, we know the shifts are different. The patient to the nurse to patient ratio is different as well. I think it's 1 to 6 in the UK. We do 1 to 6 nurses to patients. So that will be different, just learning different policies and procedures, and also, you know, medications are different as well. So there's a lot to learn, and that will definitely be overwhelming in the first 30 days. So yes, that is that really.
I've just seen in the chat there that Rhoda has just posted that the link for applying isn't working. So I'm not sure, Laura, if yourself and Jack can just check that out, just to make sure.
Let me post a different link into so try this link, and I will check the other link as well, just to see if that is working. That's fine.
Is that
no
the
problem.
link in the chat that's not working?
Yes, it was the direct applicants link, Jack.
Okay, I'll try and do one now.
Thank you.
Well done. Thank you. Great.
Yes, no, so we're coming up onto time, so it's just if anyone's got any more questions, just pop them in and we'll try and answer as quickly as we can before we finish.
Right.
So what's the support for overseas nurses with regard to COVID-19? I'm not sure what you mean, Essay. Are you able to elaborate, please?
Certainly, we have we have when the nurse comes over, we have suitable PPE, etc., and
Of
all
course.
the precautions are taken to protect the nurse. In terms, I'm not sure again, but if it's about a question regarding are vaccines available, something like that, then yes, absolutely. The NHS is very good at ensuring its staff, including us, for example, have been that there's access to appropriate vaccines, and that will be encouraged as strongly encouraged as according to the mandate, as Laura said. But you will be protected. It's really important that we protect our nurses and broader staff as well. As I said, that includes us too. So
Of course.
Yeah.
I'm just putting our email address in the chat as well, which I haven't done yet, just so
Okay.
you can contact us if you would like to. It's devonir.hub@nhs.net. So if anyone wants to email us, get in touch with us, ask us any further questions, then of course you're welcome to, and we would welcome those as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just to let you know, I've just done a check on that link and it's working fine. So
Okay, great.
I will send a message to the person that said it's not working and I'll look into it for them.
Thank you. Thank you,
Well
Jack.
done. Thanks, Jack.
I think it's Rhoda
Yes.
that's having problems. So
Thanks, Rhoda. Thanks for letting us know as well, Rhoda.
Yeah.
And Laura, where will you post the recordings of the nurses? It's such a shame they weren't able to join.
I know. I'm gonna pop them on our YouTube channel, and I will title them with saying it's an interview with the nurses, and I've got some questions ready to ask them. So I'll pop them on our YouTube channel, and I will be asking them lots of questions. So yeah, it'd be lovely. We've got nurses of lots of different nationalities all lined up ready for some interviews. So I think that'll be really lovely.
That would be good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So we've come to time, haven't we? So just to say thank you so much to everybody for joining us today. It's been really lovely to talk to you, and hopefully you can see how passionate we are and how much we love Devon, and we love helping our nurses, and we truly enjoy working with you all. So hopefully we'll see you all soon. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you for our next webinar, which will be in 2 weeks. So we will see you then. Thank you, everyone. Take care.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.